Welcome to Gab Life, where we try to live gabulous. Sometimes it doesn't work. As you can see, the intensity is growing. The sun in the sky is now no longer low in the horizon. Share with specific people, share with no one. Can't share with anyone. So what I thought we would do, now that we can see this beautiful place, is we would begin with our reading. So hello, let us begin. I don't necessarily agree or disagree with this content. I just thought it was interesting and I came across it and I thought I'd share it with you. You can hear the kookaburras, right? And we're now going to start getting into the 80s in temperature now, because thanks to global warming, whatever you want to call it, we have now, even though it's supposedly supposed to be winter in Sydney, we're talking temperatures in the high 80s. It's more like springtime now, which is pretty damn awesome. All right, so 7 things a son needs from his father. And this is according to All Pro Dad. And then I'm going to read something from the iMum. This sounds very gimmicky. And Family Minute and Family First. Interesting stuff. Stuff I wouldn't normally read, but I'm very lucky that I have a conservative brother, so I can come across material that I would otherwise never, be exposed to or expose myself to. He needs you to love his mother. Okay. And this will set the foundation for the relationships he will have later in his life. He needs to see you fail, not just succeed. Huh, that's interesting. A boy who is not afraid of making mistakes will grow up into a man positioned to accept and conquer great challenges. It's funny, I actually learned that from my mum. He needs your servant leadership. All right. As he grows, he will better lead his family, lead at work, and lead in his community. He needs you to be present. Well, my dad's been pretty present, so I'd say too present. Your presence in all areas will give him the support he needs. He needs your love regardless of his choices. It's funny because sometimes you read things in conservative magazines and you think that we're progressive, which is great. See, we can find common ground. It's a good thing. He needs your love regardless of his choices. Next, he needs you to affirm him. I'm proud of you, son. You are amazing. He needs to hear the words. You are a hard worker. You messed up, but I know you will bounce back. He needs you to discipline him in love. Hey, hey. When you discipline your son, you set boundaries and expectation. He is going to make mistakes just like you did as a kid, and just like you do now. But he also needs to know that his actions have consequences. Disciplining him in love will teach him to consider the consequences his actions will have. This will prepare him to think and evaluate choices he makes both now and in the future. I don't know if I should reread this on Gabversity or not. Boss Briggs, you just missed the whole thing I read, 7 things a son needs from his father. So you can hear the replay on that. The next thing I'm going to read is 7 things a daughter needs from her father. So just re-explaining now that you're here, my dear. My brother, as you guys know, is like the ultimate conservative. And so he leaves documentation around conveniently for me to see. And but it's good because I otherwise would never be exposed to this stuff. And it's funny because there's always common ground. And there are some things in there that you would swear was like progressive material. So it's a good thing. It keeps, as we know, it keeps us sane and not running to our extremities. Extremities, hey, hey. All right, 7 things a daughter needs from her father. She needs you to be involved. A daughter needs her father to be actively interested in her life. Show your daughter that you are interested in her life by learning more about it and trying to become a part of it. Yep, absolutely. She needs you to demonstrate a healthy marriage. A true partnership with his wife provides an incredible example that his daughter will want to mirror in her own life. She needs you to support her. This doesn't mean that you always have to agree, but show her that while you might not agree with a choice she is making, you will always believe in her as a person and have confidence in her abilities. It's hilarious. This is progressive stuff. This is not conservative. So well, they would sort of say the same. But this is the beauty. You open up this box of what you think is junk, and then you look at it and you're like, holy crap, that's actually really valuable. She needs you to trust you. She needs to trust you as a confidant. Confidant. When your daughter does come to you and discuss personal issues, she needs to know you will treat them with respect and confidence. They shouldn't become dinner table conversation with the rest of the family. Oh my God, my father needs to hear that one. She needs your unconditional love. Fathers on earth need to display this as well. See, okay, here's the thing. I skipped the first line because the first line talks about comparing it to, the Christian's father in heaven, which is fine. That's fine. That's their business. But obviously, as a universal message, I'm not going to include that. Number one, considering I don't agree with that. But unconditional love requires that a daughter knows no matter how badly she messes up, her father will be there not to ridicule and demean, but to forgive. I like that. She needs a strong spiritual leader. Right, now this is going to be interesting. Yeah, okay, I don't agree with that one. Pray with your daughter. Possibly. I mean, I don't see the metaphysical side, but in terms of spirituality and morality and how to act and how not to act, yeah, that's important. So I'll here it comes. So I'll give them that one. She needs a positive role model. Wow, okay. It's amazing that people have to actually learn this. Many daughters today lack a positive male role model in their life. That's true. That's true. Yeah. And that's why relationships, are becoming such a disaster. A father is the first man in a girl's life that she will intimately know. Her father sets a standard for all other men and is a positive role model to help her choose a good husband in the future. Take a moment for some self-reflection. Are there any habits you need to break? When your daughter sees that you're willing to examine your own life and make changes when necessary, you provide the best example she could ever have of accepting responsibility for her actions. That's good. That stuff's good. I'm telling you, if I can reword these, this is exactly on my side. Like liberals would eat this stuff up. If it was reworded, which is so hilarious. That's the hilarious part. When you see both sides, you start to just realize how stupid it is that people argue over semantics. Where did he find it? My brother's pretty damn good at that stuff. My brother is an active conservative, so he's always on a mission. He goes to speeches every night. He goes to church, a few times a week. Exactly, they are good for humans, yes. But what I've done is I've actually skipped a lot of the religious terminology and reworded some of it live. So I've converted it more into a higher level for that reason. But yes, I'm completely with you. Absolutely. I actually think if you read this word for word, you'd like it as well. I'll refer you actually to the organization if this helps you. There are a few organizations that I am quoting today. I'll tell you who they are. The first one is All Pro Dad. You gab smacked it damn straight. All Pro Dad. So it's all like written as you would expect, All Pro Dad. The next one is iMom. So the letter I like iPhone, but iMom, M-O-M. So it's obviously American. Family Minute with Mark Merrill. So I advise, if anyone here is like on my side, don't look these up because it's going to turn you off. But for people like Boss Briggs, who have a perfect fit with these things, go for it. Absolutely. And same with Lynn. With Elle Brooks, Family Minute with Mark Merrill, iMom, All Pro Dad, and Family First. But I think if you look up Mark Merrill, I think all the rest are related to this particular televangelist or whoever it may be. Okay, the next. This is a checklist for Dad. The checklist for Dad is as follows. Does Dad, true faith, does Dad love their mother? Does Dad's child know and see that he loves her? Hey. Has Dad intentionally planned my work life? Sorry. Has dad, I'm trying to reword this, right? And this is the checklist that you can check with your husbands or your fathers or your boys. Has dad intentionally planned his work life and put his family first? How much time did he spend one-on-one with his children or child today? This is so true. If you have a child, this is one of the reasons I delayed getting married. If you're having a child, you are having a child. That is part of your life. You can't cut off your arm and leave it at home so you can go to work and come back and stick it back on. It doesn't work that way. Was dad really engaged or distracted with calls, texts, emails when dad was with his child? What did his behavior communicate? Next, did dad hug or show affection to his child and say, "I love you" today? Was dad calm when he disciplined his child? Nope. Did dad have a meal with his child? Did dad have a family meal together with them? Did dad help his child with their schoolwork or any other activities they are interested and involved in? Did dad attend his external event? I really see it that way. That is one of the reasons, like I said, I was really scared to have kids when I was a kid. I wanted to grow up and live life first. Because if I'm going to have a child, I want to dedicate my life to them. Because basically, if they are a part of me, then I'm part of them, whether they like it or not, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm biased. It's smart to yeah. I'm biased because growing up, I didn't have family around, so that was very devastating. Did dad monitor his child's television, computer, and phone time? Did dad have family night this week and was it fun? You know, my 30th birthday was a disaster. It was a disaster. Did dad have a sense of humor and was he fun to be with? Sometimes. What sort of example has he been? There's about 5 left. Did dad need to say sorry and ask for forgiveness from his child and his family? Is dad grateful? Has he said thank you to his child, family, and wife? Has he planned a special event with his child and or family adventure? And the last one's religious, so I'm not going to waste my time. All right, so there you go. That is the dad checklist. And the things that the boy and the son and daughter need from father. And there you go. That's all I have today for Gab Life and Living Gabulous. What I will do is I am now going to Gabversity, and I'm talking about the collapse of an ancient American society called the Anasazi. More vulnerable, it's a huge love. Yeah, it's scary stuff, huh? I can only imagine. So, has anyone ever heard of the Anasazi? They were in the southern states of the US. Okay. Well, I'm going to go to Gabversity now and talk about the collapse of the pre-American society of the Anasazi. And that's going to be fun. Lovely to see everyone. After reading those letters, I just want to give everyone a hug now. Oh. All right. Don't forget, live gabulous. We're all a bunch of sweeties.